Hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin'. We have got a beautiful day to be out on the water today. We're gonna go out and do some summer bass fishing. Come along. You never know what's going to happen when you get out on the water, but I always try to go in with a plan. So my plan today is to do more offshore fishing than fishing up on the bank. I've got crankbaits, spoons, worms, jigs, wobbleheads, all that fun stuff tied on. Now we will adapt if we need to, make no mistake, but that's the plan. That's how we're going to start. There's no current right now. We're on the Tennessee River. There's no current this morning. There should be some current this afternoon. It's going to be hot this afternoon, really hot, but that's just part of it. Let's try and figure it out. We're on the board with the shaky head. Sweet. We're actually at our second stop. First stop, never got bit. That's that MB fat finesse worm, June bug, of course, this time of year. Hoping to get a good one. Pulled up on the second spot. What we're sitting on, let me cast and I'll explain. What we're sitting on, you can see we're on the main river channel. And there's an edge out here where it sort of comes out slow. You can see grass up there. And then it breaks to deep water. Right where it levels and then falls, right at that transition, is where I would expect these fish to be. They can, if they're in a mood, they can move up on the flat and feed. If they don't want to, they can back way off. When the current is going faster, they can feed out on that edge too. When that water's really running on the Tennessee River, they'll sit on the outside edges to feed. So anywhere where it's transitioning like that gives them a lot of options. The shaky head, of course, is just a really good catch-all, right? It'll catch the little ones, it'll catch the big ones. That's why I started there. I haven't been here in months, so no idea where to start. Of course, we build patterns very quickly. So came out onto a couple of likely ledges, didn't see anything on the first one, immediately got bit on the second one. Let's see what else happens. That feels too strong. Catfish or a drum on the shaky head, one or the other. Maybe a drum. But I always hold out hope that it's a great big bass. Big old nasty blue cat. Well, he broke me off trying to get a hold of him. That was about a 15 or 18 pound blue cat on the shaky head. Big old slime rocket. I just had one blow up on the frog. I'm still on this edge, but I saw one blow up in the grass, so I quick pulled out my frog. Oh, I missed. Oh my gosh, that was a big one. Come on back. Come on back. Got him. Nice. Gosh, I love a frog bite. So I had 3 other blow-ups. One of them was big. I missed them all. So I wanted to go to something a little more neutral. This is a Swamp Lord. A little bit of a bluegill color, but really when you look at the belly, it's sort of a silver white, just very neutral color, which is what I had in mind. So it's been maybe 5 minutes slinging that around. We put one in the boat. You wouldn't think in grass that frog color would matter. It absolutely does. Gosh, that's fun. Oh, how do you beat that? Thank you very much. It's cooking out here. We've got a little bit of a breeze now that has got it back to where I'm not fully fogged up. When I was throwing the shaky head earlier and it was glass, I couldn't see anything. Fully fogged up. When that's going on, you know, I'm wearing a mask because I don't want sun exposure. Same reason I'm wearing shoes. I'm sure some of you are totally thrown off that I've got shoes on today. It's because I'm trying to cover up more. But when that's going on and it's this hot and it's this steamy, a mask can fog you up. But if you keep your mouth open a little bit, I get this question all the time. That's why I'm answering it. If you keep your mouth open a little bit, it helps a lot. But some days it's just foggy. But hopefully this little tiny breeze keeps up because it's way more comfortable than it was an hour ago. One on the minnow. I'm just out on the end of a long tapering point, just blind fan casting, just shaking that guy. It's a rally shad, just shaking it along the bottom. A little midday update for you. It is 12:19, which means we've been out here about three and a half hours so far. We've landed 4. We've actually missed a bunch. I missed 3 frogfish. I had 3 or 4 bump the minnow and not get it. I had 1 other one on the shaky head that didn't hook up. 1 bang the wobble head and not hook up. The fish are in a funny mood. I said in the beginning that we had no flow this morning, and this is a river system. So when there's no flow in a river, the fish behavior gets really weird. They get really grumpy. This afternoon, we should see some flow. What we've seen so far is actually exactly what I predicted when I talked to my wife this morning as I was driving to the lake. I told her I thought the first half of the day, morning into early afternoon, was going to be pretty brutal. The fact that we were able to catch a few and catch them fun ways. I mean, I will lock a frog in my hand for the rest of the day if I even think there's a possibility of catching a big one on it. I love doing that. But I told her I thought we'd get a few in the morning, we'd have to grind for them, and then in the afternoon, if we see that flow, it'll really kick up, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen. We've had enough bites that I can see that there definitely are a lot of offshore fish. There are a lot of fish positioned the way I want. They're just grumpy right now. Hopefully this cloud cover will help. I wasn't expecting that. That wasn't forecast. It is so stinking hot out here. That's at least making it bearable, but let's get back to the fishing. I think it will just get better as we go. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Gotcha. Sweet. One by one, it's coming together. Crush City freeloader on that one. That was cool. They're all about the same size no matter what we throw today. Isn't that funny? Solid fish though. So we're still way out offshore. I went through a whole series of like humps and long tapering points, and it seemed like I would interact with 1 to 2 fish on each one. I just pulled up on this one, and there's actually grass just below the surface. I mean, you can see how far off the bank I am, but there's grass out here. So I picked up that soft jerk bait, made, I don't know, maybe a dozen casts, and that one just tagged it. I'll bet that wasn't random. We've definitely got a pattern. They're on all these little high spots, humps, ends of flats where they roll off. I've spent a bunch of time worming for them and wobble heading for them. They just don't seem to want it for the most part, but when I throw that little jig and minnow and shake it, like that one had grass in his mouth wrapped around the bait, I'm right over the top of that grass. They clobber it. I come in covered in grass a lot because what I'm doing is just throwing it out, letting it go all the way to the bottom, and then I pop it up and start shaking. Sometimes when I pop it up, I've already caught the grass, but I'm getting a lot of bites doing it. Little guy. Spotted bass. Finally got a little bit of current flow. Unfortunately, we've got some wacky weather. This was not in the forecast at all. I don't know if you can see far enough over, but there's serious thunderstorms coming over here. I just pulled on a little offshore spot, picked that one off, but we're gonna have to work our way back to the ramp quicker than I thought. Had him. Golly, that one hit hard. I mean, crushed it. They've been biting soft all day, but we're seeing that flow now. That one smashed it. Wow. That's a fast fish. There we go. So I just came all the way up this grass edge. When I got to the end of the edge, it's sort of a little grassy point. Fired that freeloader out there off the end of it, started shaking, it just went weightless. Just ate it coming at me, completely slack line. That was a cool bite. That fish was so far out there. That's got to be 130, 140 feet away. I threw as far as I could throw and it caught it. Never even made it to the bottom. How funny. Smallest fish of the day. Thank you anyway. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up here. The bite has actually gotten significantly better. As the flow increased, I started to get at least a short strike on every single place I stopped, including places that I stopped earlier in the day and didn't get bit. A lot more action. Been lucky with the thunderstorms. I had 2 go just above me, so we were able to stay out a little longer. The only thing is I didn't really see an increase in the size of the fish. Some days are like that. Some days, you know, I always have a goal of catching a big one. We caught a lot of fish today. We caught them fun ways, right? The shaky head, the frog, soft jerk bait, of course, a couple different minnows. We caught a lot of fish a lot of ways. Given how tough it was this morning, I'm really happy with that outcome. But my goal is always that big one. But the good thing is we're just out here fun fishing, so it really doesn't matter. I'll link everything in the video description for you that I was fishing with today, so you can see those baits. I'll give you the exact colors, the rods and reels, all that stuff, because you'll notice the fish were in a weird mood. So I had a lot of short strikes, but I never lost a single fish after I hooked up. 100% conversion, getting all of those fish into the boat, and that is a direct result of the rods. You know, rod, reel, line, leader, that combination, specific hooks. I'm so fanatical about that stuff that generally my hookup to land ratio is really, really high. It does make a big difference. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you soon.